200 megapixel on a smartphone camera. That's incredible, and that's exactly what Xiaomi have done with their new 12T Pro. But how well does it perform? I'm Kwan, and in this video I'll be telling you everything you need to know about the new Xiaomi 12T Pro and whether it's really as good as it sounds. So to begin with, Xiaomi recently announced two new devices, the Xiaomi 12T and 12T Pro. They're similar in design and feel with this practical but subdued look. And both of these models I have are in this black color. Now they will pick up slight smudges on the back, but Xiaomi have included a free plastic case to help protect. And there's glass sandwiched between a plastic frame, and the Pro variation has a noticeably powerful processor and of course the camera with 200 megapixel on the 12T Pro versus 108 megapixel on the 12T. Now the 12T Pro has this bright and vibrant 6.67 inch crystal res AMOLED display with 120Hz refresh rate. The higher than normal 1220p high resolution is why Xiaomi are referring to this as crystal res, and the results are nice when viewing content and playing games, with up to 900 nits of brightness for out and about situations. Now there's also a fast and reliable under the screen fingerprint scanner. By the way, if you like this wallpaper I'm using, it's my own, and you can download this and more from the link in the description below. Now the big highlight here on the Xiaomi 12T Pro is on the back with the incredible 200 megapixel main, and that's paired up with an 8 megapixel ultra wide and 2 megapixel macro. Now I feel like the secondary cameras are where the 12T Pro falls behind, and I wish they had included stronger cameras in these two areas, but the main camera is impressive. Something to know, it bins pixels 16:1 to produce 12.5 megapixel photos by default. There's a nice wide dynamic range, there's good color accuracy and details throughout. There is a mode where you can use the full 200 megapixel capability, but I feel like the file sizes are noticeably larger, and you do get further processing and sharpening to the image. There's also obviously more details when you zoom into that image as well. Now I like how the high resolution of the main camera can produce some really nice 2x zoom images, and the details in the images from this actually remind me of a dedicated telephoto lens, which is impressive from Xiaomi. Now the portraits also use this 2x zoom level, and they come out quite nicely. In low light night mode, the images come out nicely, as you can see from these shots. There's good details without over processing, and colors are true and nice overall tones. Comment below what you guys think of these images. On the selfie front, you get decent shots with the 20 megapixel front camera. There's good details and accuracy, some processing to give it that porcelain look, but it's not as bad as some other manufacturers out there. Now video quality, the Xiaomi 12T Pro can record up to 8K 24 frames per second, but in my experience the 4K 30 frames per second felt more practical with close to the quality of 8K while taking up less space. Alright, so when it comes to video, it's kind of all over the place. As I mentioned earlier on, 8K up to 24 frames per second, but with the front-facing selfie shooter, it's limited to 1080p up to 60 frames per second. I would like to see 4K, 30 frames, 60 frames. It just makes this kind of a device then one of those perfect vlogging all-in-one, but it's limited to 1080p. But the rear camera video is like this. So here I'm filming 4K 30 frames per second, and I think it does a really good job. There's lots of vibrancy. You can let me know what you think of the audio quality, but I noticed that when I try and film in ultra wide, it drops it back down to 1080p. So that's what I mean by video being all over the place. But overall, what do you think of the quality and the image and audio quality throughout? Let me know in the comments. Now this is powered by Qualcomm's latest Snapdragon 8 Gen 1, which performs high in benchmarks. The Xiaomi 12T Pro does well day to day, and for graphic intensive activities like gaming, there's no noticeable heat issues with prolonged gaming over 30 minutes. Now you also get MIUI 13 on top of Android 12, which is, slowly becoming cleaner and less of the bloatware that was associated with MIUI in the past. As many of you know, I actually like MIUI generally, and I think there are a ton of useful features and customizations. Now battery life is decent, but with the 120Hz refresh and extended graphic intensive applications, I was actually hoping for this to last a little longer. I mean, I think for most people you'll get close to majority of day use, but thankfully that 120 what included fast charger means you'll get in that juice in an incredible, check this, 30 to 35 minutes for me, charging it from 0 to 100%. Look, overall, the Xiaomi 12T Pro is a solid package. You get great display, impressive main camera, solid performance, all for the price of less than many other flagships. There are some missing or features I'd like to see this device have, like wireless charging or improved ultra wide or the lack of telephoto, but all in all, this is impressive. And if you want to save more, then you can consider the Xiaomi 12T with the 108 megapixel camera and the MediaTek Dimensity 8100 Ultra chip. That might be the way to go. What are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you over here next.